Okay, CrewNet crew, it's time for another viral video. After my wildly successful video on how to make the ultimate smoothie, I had several students request that I make another video that was not academic in nature. So I said, sure, what should I make a video on? And one student said, how about you make a prime rib? And I said, no, I'm not gonna make a prime rib, that's a little bit too involved, but I will make a Tollhouse chocolate chip pie, which is incredibly easy. If your parents are cool, that you could easily make one at home. It's delicious. I had one for Thanksgiving, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's probably the best pie I've ever had. As always, this video is brought to you by books and reading. This book, Ghost by Jason Reynolds, is an amazing book. It's kind of a quick read. It has attempted murder, it has drama, it has teamwork and redemption and crime, and it's just a really, really cool book. If any of this sounds interesting to you, check out my other videos. I do a book talk where I get a little bit more specific on the plot, and I read an excerpt from this book, Ghost. Okay, go check out this book, but right now, let's make a pie. So here are the ingredients you'll need for Tollhouse chocolate chip pie, which I found on allrecipes.com. 1 9-inch unbaked 4-cup volume deep dish pie shell. You can find this in most grocery stores in the refrigerated section. I found it kind of near the butter. 2 large eggs, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, 3/4 cup of butter softened, which you just leave it out and let it soften for hours, and when it's soft, it's good to go, which equals 12 tablespoons, 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chip morsels, and 1 cup of chopped nuts, which I chopped from the recipe because they're gross. Okay, folks, here are all the ingredients you're gonna need. You start by whipping 2 eggs until they're foamy. What do you wanna do with eggs? Instead of cracking them on the corner of the bowl, you actually wanna do it on a flat surface to get a better crack and a cleaner crack. And I think I got some eggshell in there. Yup, but got it out. Oh, that was a clean one. Look at that. Okay. Rinse off because you don't want salmonella. And then beat the eggs until they're foamy on high. So that looks pretty foamy to me, kind of bubbly, foamy. The next thing you want to add are the sugars and the flour. The thing with the white sugar, you just measure it off normally in a cup. Again, there's a 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup of flour. If you want to be fancy, use the back of a knife to scrape it so it's perfectly flat. I did not do that this time. With the brown sugar, you actually need to like cram it in and pack it in. So if you look, if I push, it doesn't really go in at all. So you really have a lot more brown sugar really than white sugar, and it gives it a really good like molassesy, caramely flavor. Okay, and let's whip it together. And this is where you get a little messy. We use the spatula to get the sides. There we go. sure I've gotten all of it. A little bit more. And like I said, with softened butter, you actually measure it off with tablespoons, and no matter what kind of butter you get, you're going to see that there are little measuring things on it, even if it's just like a regular stick of butter. So you kind of just find it and then usually cut it. You can use a knife to cut it. As you can see, this is a really healthy pie. It just has like a giant chunk of butter, sugar, flour, more sugar, and then chocolate chips. And this is kind of what it looks like now. So it really looks a lot like chocolate chip cookie dough if you've ever had that. The last ingredient are the chocolate chips, and I like to just fold it in just with the spatula. When you fold it, you kind of get just a circular motion and kind of press it in. Kind of get a wrist rotation going. And you want to make sure it's spread out and incorporated well so that every bite has some chocolate chips in it and it's a good mix. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so one of the last steps is to actually unroll the pie crust. Again, I didn't make it myself, I just bought it. And it kind of comes in a little tube like this. And you just want to unroll it over the pie tin. And kind of press it in. You want to avoid it from getting too many cracks. I'm obviously getting cracks, so you want to be kind of delicate. It kind of didn't work there. And you kind of just press it into the pie tin. Where the cracks are, you try to press the dough back together to kind of repair it. I don't know, I'm not much of a baker. Again, this is only like the second pie I've ever done. So it's a little bit short over here. You want to make sure it's kind of even and at least goes up to the edge. And you kind of want to just press it in and fill all those crevices. Okay. So the next up, I don't really like having all this extra dough kind of hanging off like that. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to press together the cracks. I'm going to maybe take this and kind of repair and press it into the crack down there. Some of the extra stuff, kind of just peel it off. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do this. That's just what I'm doing right now. So I'm kind of just patching it up. And then I'm going to take a knife and just kind of trim some of the excess, because it's going to dry and bake out and kind of get gross. Yeah, that looks... So it looks kind of messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take it and kind of just pinch and make it look kind of nicer. So it looks okay. Again, I'm kind of just crimping it a little bit. Parts look kind of weird, but I mean, it looks kind of like a pie, right? All right. So now to fill it, all you have to do is take the filling, put it inside, spread it flat, And try to put it so that it's even. Okay, that's good enough. So it looks pretty good, looks pretty flat. The pie crust looks okay, I guess. It kind of looks weird. Maybe I'll try to fix it a little bit. But once the oven's ready to roll, you're good to pop it in. And you're gonna let it bake for about 55 to 60 minutes. Check on it, and we'll see when it's done. Okay guys, one of the last steps to check to see that the pie is done is that you need to insert a knife and it should come out clean. And it did come out clean. If you look at the knife, it just has a little bit of oil on it. And you can see some chocolate, obviously melted chocolate, but there's no real dough sticking to it. So this pie is good to go. It's best served with some whipped cream or with ice cream. I personally like it after it's cooled and is kind of solidified, but if you eat it right now while it's still hot, it's kind of gooey like an undercooked chocolate chip cookie, which is delicious. Okay folks, first and foremost, I'm not a baker. I probably did a lot of things you're not supposed to do when you bake a pie. It's only the second pie I've ever made, but hey, it turned out pretty good. So if you follow these directions, you'll get a decent pie. Again, especially with the dough and stuff, I probably did some things wrong. But here are the sources from this video. The recipe came from allrecipes.com. It's a great source of recipes. The music is courtesy of bensound.com. It is copyright free as long as you cite it at the end, which I'm doing right now. And again, this video is brought to you by books. Go out, pick up a book, and read it while you eat this delicious pie. If you like this video, like it and subscribe to the channel, and keep on reading.